See, Red Nation, what's good? I'm going to give you three positives the Chicago Bulls should take into game 2, and it starts right now. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure that you guys hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel that's talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. Listen, Bulls take a game 1 L, but I don't go out of it feeling super negative. I have a lot of positive feelings about what we saw in that game 1, and so I want to get into it. Three positives I think the Bulls should take into game 2. Number 1 for me, I love what we saw in the Bulls from the defensive end. I love Billy Donovan's game plan on that. I love how they rotated defensively. You have to keep that intensity up going into this second game in this series. And here's the thing. It's not just about Billy Donovan putting the right game plan in and the players being able to play it, right? It's about who you saw executing that game plan. I know P. Will's going to play decent defense. I know that Alex Caruso is going to play good defense. I know that, Ayo Dosunmu, when he's in the game, is going to get some good defense, even though he didn't get a ton of time. The guys that I don't know if they're going to be consistent defensively are who? Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. Those guys came out, and even with DeMar playing bad on the offensive end, did give you some good production on the defensive end. Shot the gap well, got a couple of steals. DeMar finished that game with 3 steals, no blocks. Zach LaVine finished with 1 steal, 1 block, doing some good things for this team, and they're the reason that this thing has to keep going. They're the ones that have to start it off. They're the focal point for me on this defensive end, and if they can continue to keep that up, that's going to put the Bulls in a good position moving forward, right? Because for me, if the Bulls can, if it starts with them and they're locked in defensively, of course, Vooch locking in defensively, I know Alex Caruso is going to be there. I know Derrick Jones Jr. is going to be there. I know, these other guys are going to be there, but there's gaps in your defense when your rotations are off because Zach isn't rotating right, DeMar isn't rotating right. Those are problems there. And so seeing that in game 1, I really love that. And that's something that I really want the Bulls to take here into game 2 and the rest of this series, because I think it's going to be so key to you winning. The job they did on Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, listen, there's a lot of people that'll say, well, they just had a bad night. No, they were getting defended really, really well. The Bulls were doing a good job. We saw multiple times where Kobe White, excellent step up, excellent help defense, right? Zach LaVine, good job down low, getting played in the post on playing in the post on Drew Holiday, who's an excellent post player. You know what I'm saying? Chris Middleton was guarded well all night. Those things have to continue because those are guys that can get hot in spite of good defense. We've seen that, right? Versus us, where even in the face of us playing good D, they still knock down the shot. But it's a lot harder for you if you do that an entire series. And so I want to see the Bulls continue to do that. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. What are some positives you saw from this Bulls team in game 1? Also, make sure that you guys have hit that like button and have subscribed to the page. We're doing this on a daily basis over on the Windy City Breeze, so stay in tune with us, man. The second positive I'm taking from this team is the game plan to go into Vooch. Listen, and the way they mixed it up, I understand Vooch didn't shoot it well from the three-point line. The Bulls as a whole didn't shoot it well from the three-point line. 7 for 37 for a solid 19%. The Bulls as a whole didn't shoot it well from the three-point line, right? But that mix, right? How many times have we seen where there's nothing on one end from Vooch and then there's just the three-point shooting? There was a good mix here of, yeah, he's shooting that 3 ball, but also he's down in the paint, trying to get busy, back to the basket, making a move, getting involved in the rebounding battle. He had 17 rebounds. I love the way that the Bulls did that as well. But for me, right, getting Vooch established down low, getting him in that low post, even with Brook Lopez and those boys out there, but mixing it up with the nice combination of shooting the 3 and that. And the difference there is like, yeah, he's 2 for 10, Pat. Why would you want him to keep shooting it? Because when he did knock it down, it forced Brook Lopez out of the paint, and you saw the immediate impact that had on the Brooklyn team interior-wise, right? All of a sudden, you see a dish down to Alex Caruso in the paint. He's under there for an easy bucket. Ayo Dosunmu able to drive for an easy bucket. Zach LaVine able to get down low for an easy bucket on the baseline because Brooks out on the corner with Vooch trying to guard him in case he shoots the 3, right? So the couple of times that he did knock one down, it really changed how they played defensively on you. And Eventually, they did go back because he did shoot 2 for 10. I need to see a higher percentage on that, but it really shows you how important Vooch is going to be in this series, and I think you have to keep that perfect mix. 10 three-pointers, unfortunately, that's the shots they're giving you. I wouldn't want to see him shooting them, but if he can find a way to shoot it at a high clip like we saw him do in that Clippers game, he did that was a game before. It might have been game before, somewhere in there, where we saw him shooting the three ball well. I think that changes the game for you, and I think that does some good things for you moving forward in this series. Now, the third positive I saw, and a lot of people might not have noticed it, right? It might have been something that went under the radar for you a little bit, but the third thing that I saw that was positive from this Bulls team, the way that Zach LaVine seemed to take control and take a leadership role, even with DeMar DeRozan on the floor. It might have been something subtle, might have been something you didn't notice, but Zach was talking to everybody. He was the one that was telling them, hey, get in position, do this, make sure we're here. On the offensive end, we need to be cutting. We need to be doing this. We need to be. He got in DeMar DeRozan's ear a couple of times on the offensive end when DeMar kind of stayed out at the three-point line and Zach was driving in. They showed the one on NBC and on TNT, I think, where he walks over to DeMar immediately, and him and DeMar having a heated discussion. Hey, you got to cut with me. We're going down here. You need to be down here with me so that I can give you the ball for the lay. You know what I'm saying? So that it gives them the option out at the three-point line. I need to see more of that from Zach. I think Zach LaVine is a max player. He's probably not going to get an all-NBA selection, so I think he's going to get that max contract. I personally believe you need to keep him, and I need to know that you have that fight in you, that spirit, that want to, that leadership mentality. That showed me right there that there's a little something in there, and when the games matter most, you're willing to speak up and talk to who we can say has been the best player on this team and say, hey, you're messing up right now. You need to get it together. I want to see that continue, not only just in game 2, but the rest of this series, because you're going to need that leader. We're going to need that guy who it's all going to fall on, who it's all going to be on his shoulders when it's all said and done. We need that to be Zach LaVine. And if you're stepping up, you're taking that role, you're taking that mode going into this game 2, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's rock with him. Let's keep it going, because for me, that shows me that you're understanding what the moment is and you want everybody else to understand what the moment is. I think we saw that with Vooch. I think we saw that with Zach. We didn't see that with the rest of the team as much, but let's hope that carryover does happen there, because for me, if Zach LaVine's going to be the star of this team, I need to see him vocally speaking up to his teammates, not just in a disgusted manner, not upset, but in a manner of, hey, listen, we got to get this shot off. We got to make this play. We got to get this thing done, man. Let's keep this going. Let's not start getting too ISO. Let's not start getting too ISO heavy. Let's not do the easy play. You know what I'm saying? So I need to see Zach LaVine in more of that leadership role, and hopefully we see that continue as we go down the stretch. But I want to know how you guys feel, man. What are some positives you saw in this game that you want to see the Bulls take into game 2 of this series, man? I'll be down there in the comments talking with you as well. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. Click the links on the screen or check the links in the description below. We'll be down there talking with you as well. As always, man, your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Let's go get this game 2 dub, y'all. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.